Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today DFDV just filed a current report about a material agreement and I am seeing a pathway to a bigger stock offering. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company is looking to sell a lot more stock and that could mean big changes for existing shareholders. DeFi Development Corp is filing a Form 8K, which is like a current report for really important stuff that happens outside of regular financial updates. The earliest event reported here is May 1, 2026. This filing is mostly about a new sales agreement they've entered into. This company, DeFi Development Corp, is incorporated in Delaware and has a commission file number of 001-41748. Their IRS employer identification number is 83 to 2,676,794. They are headquartered in Boca Raton, Florida, at 6401 Congress Avenue NU Suite 250 with a zip code of 33,487. Remember, numbers like these can be important for tracking where a company is located and its official registration details. The company's common stock is trading on the Nasdaq stock market LLC under the ticker symbol DFDV. They also have warrants trading under DFDVW. These warrants give holders the right to buy one share of common stock. It is always good to know what securities a company has available on the market. DeFi Development Corp has checked the box indicating it is an emerging growth company. This means they get to follow some different, often less strict, rules when it comes to financial reporting compared to larger, more established companies. They have also elected not to use the extended transition period for complying with new or revised financial accounting standards, which means they will adopt new accounting rules sooner rather than later. The main point of this filing is about a sales agreement, or as they call it, a sales agreement that the company entered into on May 1, 2026. This agreement is with RF Lafferty Co, Inc., who will act as the sales agent. This is where it gets interesting for investors. Through this agreement, DeFi Development Corp can offer and sell up to a whopping $200 million of its common stock. This is a significant amount of money they are preparing to raise by selling more shares to the public. The shares they plan to sell will be issued under a registration statement that was filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, back in April 2026. A Form S-3 is typically used by companies that have been public for at least a year and have already filed reports with the CC. It allows for quicker and more efficient registration of securities. A prospectus supplement which gives more details about the offering was filed on May 1, 2026. The agreement specifies that sales can be made through what are known as at-the-market offerings. This means the company can sell its stock directly into the open market, essentially at prevailing market prices through the sales agent. It is a flexible way to raise capital over time. It is crucial to understand that the company is not forced to sell any shares. They can stop or completely end the sales agreement at any time. Likewise, the agent, RF Lafferty Co, Inc., can also stop sales or terminate the agreement. So, while they have the option to raise up to $200 million, it is not a guaranteed amount. The agent will use commercially reasonable efforts to sell the shares based on instructions from the company, which can include price, time, or size limits. So, what will they do with all this potential cash? The company plans to use the net proceeds after paying fees and expenses for working capital, which is essentially day-to-day operating money. But here is something that stands out. They also intend to use some of the funds for acquiring Solana sold digital assets and strategic initiatives. This indicates a clear focus on digital assets and a forward-looking strategy that embraces the cryptocurrency space, specifically Solana. Now, let's talk about the cost of this fundraising. The company will pay the agent a commission of up to 0.75% of the gross proceeds from the shares sold. They will also reimburse the agent for certain expenses. A 0.75% commission for an at-the-market offering is fairly standard. For example, if they manage to sell all $200 million, the commission would be around $1.5 million. This is the actual document outlining the terms of the sales agreement. It includes customary representations and warranties, which are essentially promises made by both parties about the information they are providing. There are also provisions for indemnification, meaning if one party has to pay for damages, the other might share the cost, especially concerning liabilities under securities laws. The filing also includes an opinion from a law firm, Perkins Coie LLP. This legal opinion confirms that the shares being registered and sold are legally valid. This is a standard piece of documentation for any securities offering to assure investors that everything is on the up and up from a legal standpoint. And finally, there is the cover page interactive data file. This is part of the SEC's move towards making financial data more accessible and machine readable, typically in inline XBRL format. It allows for easier analysis of key information from the filing. Now, looking at this filing, DeFi Development Corp is clearly gearing up for a significant capital raise through an at-the-market offering. The mention of acquiring Solana digital assets is a key strategic indicator. For investors, this means potential dilution as more shares are issued, but also the opportunity for the company to fund growth and potentially acquire assets in the fast-moving digital asset space. The fact that they are an emerging growth company means these filings might be less detailed than for a larger corporation, but the overall message here is about raising capital for a specific purpose. The biggest takeaway is the $200 million potential at the market offering and the stated intention to use a portion of those funds for digital assets like Solana. This signals a company that is not only looking to fund its operations, but also to make strategic investments in a particular sector. While the exact dollar amount raised is uncertain, the framework for raising a substantial sum is now in place. Alright, that is my take on DeFi Development Corp's latest filing. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps. And subscribe for more deep dives. Check out the Discord in the description.